Um, Wanted to record a video, basically just talking about a couple points here. The main theme is that no one is coming to save you. Uh, as per usual, we got 3 points. First point, your life is your responsibility. The second one, no one owes you anything but you. And the third one is only you can save you. As far as the first point, um, basically you need to have a vision for your own life, and it's your responsibility to make that vision that you have become a reality. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to be the person that believes the most in what it is that you're going for, but you also have to give yourself something to believe in. You can be inspired by things. You can, have things that motivate you, but at the end of the day, you have to be the person that gives your life purpose. Nobody is going to come to you and give you a purpose. You can seek out quests and stuff like that, basically, like where you could have different things to work towards, but you still have to take that initial step to do that. And it's still your responsibility, if it is what you want, to seek out a higher purpose in life. Basically, you're kind of the master of your own destiny. The way I like to think about it is that you are the captain of your ship, and kind of regardless of what happens in life, regardless of what the sea does, you can't control what the sea does, but you can control how you steer your ship and kind of how you try to keep yourself on course. Regardless of anything, though, the main thing is that your life is your responsibility, and it's up to you to decide if you want to, that you want to live with a higher purpose. If not, then, that's cool. You can just do whatever. But if you're here, it shows that you want more from life, and so it's your responsibility to go out and get that. The second point is that no one owes you anything but you. I feel like people want to get these things in life and want to achieve these things just because they're like, oh, it'd be really cool to, have a lot of money or be successful in whatever field. But like on a deeper level, you really kind of owe it to yourself. Like when you really think about this, you get, to the best of all of our knowledge, you really only get one shot at this as far as this whole life thing. You really owe it to yourself to try to be the best version of yourself, because there's so many people that end up dying and they never even get an opportunity to see what their full potential could be, or what the things that they could have achieved, just because this vision that they have for their life is just more so kind of like a dream, as opposed to something that they feel like, oh no, I have to get this, I owe it to myself to do these things. And I think another trap that I feel like people fall into is that people think just because they're good people, they're nice to people, they treat people right and everything like that, that they're somehow owed good things in return. And I personally believe when you put good out, good comes your way, but you have to also put yourself in a position to capitalize on that good and actually turn it into something. So it's like if I'm out here putting out good content, right, and then opportunities come my way, if I don't have the infrastructure in place to take advantage of those opportunities, they're just going to fall by the wayside. It's not actually going to do anything. So where I might be able to have some infrastructure in place to turn, a connection, like say if I meet somebody who was like, really fuck what you're doing, let's work, and then because I have experience doing whatever, we're able to build something, and then that turns into, income for both of us, right? If I didn't have all that stuff in place in the beginning, and I was just sitting here expecting, oh, because I did something nice to somebody else, $1 million is going to fall from the sky for me. That's not how that works. It's just not how it is. You could be the nicest person in the world. You could do, everything for everybody. But at the end of the day, if you're still not doing the work on the back end to set yourself up to win, you might have opportunities, you might have good come your way, but it may not turn into anything just because you still have to. It's still your responsibility to set yourself up to be able to take advantage of these things, right? But even still, if you do something else for somebody else, right? An example of that is like in friendships or whatever. You could be super, super good to your friends, and yes, you would hope that they would return those favors, but at the end of the day, there's no real, like, they don't have to do those things. And if you're just doing things just purely out of the whole, the idea that, oh, I did this for you, so now you owe me something, it's not going to get you very far, because that tit for tat doesn't really translate all the time, right? The third point, kind of the whole gist of the video, is that only you can save you, right? So, no one can make you do the hard things you have to do. Nobody can make you make the necessary changes to get you to where you want to be in life. They can tell you all the things you need to do, and they can sit here and lecture you about it, and they can try to motivate you and do all sorts of stuff, but at the end of the day, they can't crawl into your body and make you do those things. You still have to do that. You still have to get up and take the first steps to do those things. Because ultimately, if you're not necessarily happy with where you're at in life, or if there's still a lot to be desired in your life right now, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you keep doing the same things you're doing now, the things that have gotten you where you're at in life, whether it be good, whether it be bad, but if you feel like you've kind of hit a plateau, and you're not doing anything differently to get out of that situation, you're just going to stay on that plateau. You're going to have hit that ceiling, and that's it. You're not going to go any further. You have to change things up. You have to be able to, make the hard decisions on what you may have to cut out, or who you may have to kind of limit your time with in order to get to the next step. And nobody can make you do those things except for you. You have to still do that. You still have to put the time and energy in to be able to do those things. You still have to commit to whatever goals you're setting, whatever vision that you have. You have to be able to commit to that. Nobody can make you do those things except for you. And another thing too is, going back to the no one can save you but you. We live in a really great time as far as like being able to have access to information, right? You have a phone, you can research just about anything, right? And it's really great. But even if you're in an environment where it may not necessarily be like conducive to like necessarily being successful, right? Sometimes people they like to blame their environment and be like, oh, I came from this or whatever. And I grew up in not the best environment, inside the home and outside the home, right? And I'm not sitting here acting like I'm super successful or anything like that. I'm still trying to figure this shit out myself. But I would say that I've learned a lot, you know what I mean? And I've changed my mindset a lot. I'm still actively trying to learn and grow and do all these other things. And it's just, again, the understanding that nobody's going to come to save me, nobody's going to come to save any of us, is really sobering, but it also puts a lot of power in your hands. Like, what comes to mind, for instance, when I think about something like that, is like Nipsey Hussle, for instance. He wasn't in the best environment, right? And he still had a lot of knowledge, and yeah, he may have had people around him that were, exposing him to this knowledge and everything like that, but he still took the initiative to try to learn about these things and try to get educated about these things, regardless of what his environment may have had around him. And it's just, the reality is that we can all do that. Even if you're in a really shitty environment, or you don't have people around you that share the same interests or anything like that, it's not impossible for you to just kind of like change your mindset and just kind of elevate yourself mentally, to start focusing on these other things, which will eventually translate to you putting in the work to change your circumstances, and maybe even change your environment, change the people you have around you, so that you do have people around you that actually share the same ideas and share that same passion of trying to get more out of life, right? But nobody's ever going to do that for you. It's not like you're just going to be out here and somebody again is just going to come to you and be like, hey, bro, like, I really fuck with you. Here's $1 million and here's all the contacts that I have. Go be great. Nobody's going to say that. You have to put yourself in those positions. You have to, you know what I'm saying, where maybe you go out to a meet and greet with a bunch of, entrepreneurs or something like that. And you just go out here and start meeting people, whatever the case is. But even when you meet these people, none of those people can save you. Nobody can save you. The only person that can save you is yourself. You have to want to take yourself to that next level. But that's pretty much all I got today. Just wanted to talk about that real quick. That's about it. Y'all stay hydrated. Love y'all. I'll see you on the next one.